in turn invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Defense Forces, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, our PSS Chairman Kitoni and the NSC CEO, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, the market has spoken, and when the market speaks, ours is the referee function, and therefore we just say congratulations to the market, because I think when they have spoken, what's been mentioned are things that we've been talking about for some time. And all they are saying, Your Excellency, is let's use the capital markets as an alternative for development. I think that is, in summary, everything that's been said. It's my great pleasure to be part of this great initiative today, to witness the bell ringing ceremony for the Linzi Sukuk on the USP. This is, as has been mentioned, the first time Islamic bond is being listed in the USP in the NSC. Let me thank all the stakeholders who've participated in this process to bring this to fruition, and for being here with us despite their busy schedules. Let me reiterate, Your Excellency, to thank you again. I think it's been mentioned you've been here, this is the fourth time, and that shows your confidence in this economic segment, which is the capital markets, and we're very much appreciative. Your Excellency, for your information, we've witnessed remarkable progress in this sector. Since the establishment of Islamic banks, and I say this being Islamic finance product, we've seen significant progress, including the establishment of Islamic banks, Islamic windows for conventional banks, takafuls and re-takaful windows, Sharia-compliant funds. These achievements have been facilitated through collaborative efforts of all financial sector regulators, guided by the National Treasury and economic planning, backed up with technical and financial support from Financial Sector Deepening Africa, FSD Africa. As regards to the Linzi Sukuk listing, Your Excellency, we view this as a major achievement that has opened the channel for subsequent issuance on the main exchange in the future. This Linzi Sukuk issuance brings the total number of admitted securities on the USP to 5, with the others being the Lab Trust Imara, and we thank CPF for that, the Ilham Fahari IRIT, the Acon DRIT, and the Acon IRIT. Those are the ones that are on the USP platform. Your Excellency, even as we strive to improve activity in the capital markets, in the Islamic capital markets field, we acknowledge that there have been some challenges hindering optimal uptake. These include the low level of awareness and understanding of Islamic finance among the general population, even within the financial sector itself, policy misalignments with the Islamic principles. While we have stepped up effort to enhance literacy in this sector, we'll be making special requests to your office, Your Excellency, to support and fast-track, 1, the development of a national Islamic finance policy. 2, enactment of the necessary legal frameworks to introduce a centralized Sharia advisory council for purposes of confidence building in the products. Number 3, the issuance of a sovereign sukuk, and introduction of a Sharia-compliant liquidity management tools for Islamic banks and takaful business to enhance market. I'm almost done, Your Excellency. Similarly, Your Excellency, the country's capital markets are increasingly becoming a key player in the country's commodity markets ecosystem, especially the agriculture sector, to enhance financial inclusion, market access, digitalized and transparent commodity value chains, price discovery at the commodities exchange. To this end, we are happy to inform you that we are live to one of the key deliverables of your government, Better. The authority is working with other stakeholders to strengthen the Nairobi Coffee Exchange by ensuring that the necessary legal and regulatory frameworks are in place, the direct settlement system, the capacity building among players. Additionally, to boost production of products, especially agricultural, the authority has given clearance to the Commodities Market Exchange, the CMX Limited, to commence a pilot testing of derivatives exchange, mainly aiming at trading a futures contract. In supporting innovations in the capital markets, also we are operationalizing more and more. In fact, we might be the only one in the whole region in terms of a regulatory sandbox, which a few products are in the pipeline, and over the years we've seen very successful ventures that have come out of the regulatory sandbox, Your Excellency, which is a product within the capital markets. And with these few remarks, I want to thank you most sincerely, and again echo our continued support towards more products and services in the capital markets to deliver on the promised economic transformation of our great country. We want to thank you, and we want you to keep up the great work you are doing, Your Excellency. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, I am aware that you have pressure for time, so I will not speak, I'll not make any remarks. I will take this opportunity to welcome the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks on behalf of the National Treasury, given that is our acting CS. As he comes on, I want to make a disclaimer that none of us are stockbrokers. The PS Abubakar worked with me. I met him at CMA when I was seconded by the governor, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, when he was governor. I worked with him on the the NSE valuation and the demutualization of the exchange. I know PS Housing is an investment banker, not a stockbroker. With that, please come. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Kito. Your Excellency, the President, leaders of business who are here, good morning. I will be very brief, and I think it seems it's a moment of disclaimers. Tom Murla talked of a game where he opted not to disclose, and he gave the impression that it is a very secretive game. Your Excellency, I want to assure you that the game he was talking about is legal. It is golf. Lest the impression is taken out there that we were involved in some devious activity. But, Your Excellency, as I invite you to the podium, let me just point out one or two things. One, in every crisis, there's always a silver lining. And we've had a moment of challenge. Kenya has risen out of challenges before, and every time it emerges stronger. So the President is steering us out of a certain challenge. But one thing that comes out truly for Kenyans is that we are systematically building a resilient economy and a resilient nation. Our democracy is tested. Our institutions are being tested. Even the stock market here was being tested. And the fact that you are here to launch another product just shows that this level of resilience is being made stronger and stronger by the day, out of good leadership and also commitment and confidence in Kenya. So I really want to thank the entities that are still the beacons within our stock market, the companies that stood here. You are doing a good job, because confidence will only be maintained when people see that institutions in those countries are also believers in their stock market. So we thank you greatly. And we believe that the more we have joining in the capital markets, the better for us. Finally, Mr. President, you know, privatization can be both sweet and bitter. It's a terminology that is giving people a lot of problems. Even now, there's debate out there on how we can raise capital to support our infrastructure. And there's always suspicion. But one thing is clear. If we can grow our capital markets, somehow, even the doubting Thomases have very little to say when they know that we are trying to raise the resources through the capital markets. There's more confidence there. There's more assurance there. So it behoves on us to really build our capacity here and expand our horizons, introduce new products like this one, so that we can accelerate our development. So that is all I can say at this point in time. And at the right time, we shall recruit some of you members into that game, now that you know it is not illegal. So ladies and gentlemen, can we all be upstanding so that we can usher in His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya to make his remarks and get the bell rolling. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, PCS. Tafadhali, let's take our seats. Our Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Principal Secretary is present, the Chair of the Nairobi Securities Exchange and CEO, board members of the Capital Markets Authority, board members of Liaison Group, board members of CPF Financial Services, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Jambo. I know it's cold. I was also feeling it. But it's a great pleasure that I join you today for the groundbreaking listing of this Linzi Sukuk on the unquoted securities platform of the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Indeed, a very momentous occasion as we introduce the first Sharia-compliant financial product to the Kenyan exchange. I take this opportunity to congratulate Linzi Finco Trust, the issuer of the bond, for the successful structuring of this remarkable 3 billion shilling Islamic security with a 15-year maturity, marking a pioneering public-private partnership facilitated through our capital markets entirely with locally sourced resources. My recurrent visits to the Nairobi Securities Exchange have each coincided with a significant development crucial for our nation's economic advancement. From the launch of the enhanced NSE marketplace in October 2022, when I came here immediately after the elections, and now the Linzi Sukuk bond, these are not mere coincidences, but reflect a steadfast commitment to fostering a dynamic and inclusive capital markets. The NSE stands as a cornerstone in our strategy to mobilize long-term capital that is vital for fueling the programs and projects that are core to our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. In 2022, the government pledged to provide land and horizontal infrastructure for development of affordable housing, substantially lowering construction costs and making it possible and feasible to offer homes at between 30 and 40% less the market rates. I challenged the private sector to support national housing and infrastructure projects then. I am delighted by your response and commend your effort in crafting this landmark asset-based security, which has the potential to enhance efficiency in the delivery of our priority projects through optimal financing costs. I am also encouraged that the funds raised from this bond will facilitate the construction of 3,069 affordable housing units, thereby generating thousands of jobs across the country, expanding commerce in many aspects of trade, aspects of supply, traders, and many other aspects that will bring this together. The structure of Linzi Sukuk, aimed at providing housing at an average of 1.4 million shillings, significantly less than the current average, enables Kenyans to own homes by paying as little as 7,000 for 15 years. This initiative not only makes home ownership more accessible, but also represents a scalable model for investment in our affordable housing program, attracting long-term investors, including local pension funds. I'm very happy to listen to Tom Mulwa and what they are doing with Dr. Kili on this space. And I'm very happy that today we are launching a product that brings Islamic financing put together by the Nairobi Stock Exchange to facilitate public housing. That is the essence of public partnership, public-private partnership. We're using private funds. We're using private funds to deliver public housing. It is the model that will leverage more resources beyond what government can do, that private money can facilitate home ownership. Private money can facilitate public housing. In this particular aspect, our security forces will benefit from the housing that is going to be constructed using the resources that we are raising using this Sukuk bond. And it is my commitment to the people of Kenya that housing is going to be a major product. Many people have asked me, why are you using public land to deliver housing? I mean, what else was public land supposed to be used for? Because in many cases, if we don't use public land to deliver public housing, it ends up in the hands of a few other people by other means. So I am committed to making sure that we create more homeowners in Kenya. As I have said before, we have a mortgage industry of about 40,000. We can expand that to between 1.5 and 2 million mortgages by making sure that we have housing products that are affordable to the majority of Kenyans. You can only do that if you have innovative mechanisms that allows us to deliver housing and housing products at affordable prices. And I'm very happy that the private sector is coming on board to work with us in this space. As a financial instrument compliant with Islamic law, the Sukuk highlights the importance of Islamic finance in promoting financial inclusion and broadening market access.
With that,
this aligns with the global move towards more stable and robust economic growth, unlocking Islamic financial assets currently valued at approximately
Thank you, Chris.
$5 billion.
Your Excellency, the President.
The high demand for Islamic financial products, both domestically and internationally, is evident from the successful issuance of sovereign sukuks in countries like Nigeria, Egypt, and Malaysia. This opens avenues for diversifying our financial resources beyond traditional bonds and loans and enhancing our financial resilience against interest rate volatility. If we were to deliver the same product using a loan, it would cost us interest of 22%. We're getting it at half that amount. So if there is anything in the realm of innovation, this is what it is. That resources that would otherwise be available to us at 22% interest. Using this Sukuk product, we get it at 11% interest, and for 15 years. That's really good. I mean, it cannot get better than that. And I am very confident that, in fact, if we were to look for such funding, we would get it at 22% for 5 years. If it was 15 years, that would be a different number. I'm not quite an investment banker like my good peers, but I know that it would be a lot different. So we are walking in the right direction, and I want to commend CPF, Liaison, and Patrick Mariro from my Ministry of Defense for working on this. With today's listing, the Linzi Sukuk joins a portfolio of innovative financial instruments on the NSE USP, including the Ilam Fahari Income Real Estate Investment Trust and Akon Real Estate Investment Trust. However, the absence of a centralized Sharia governance board remains a significant barrier to the broader adoption of Islamic finance. To address this, I ask our financial regulators to collaborate with the National Treasury and Islamic finance stakeholders to develop a robust regulatory framework that will support the growth of Islamic finance in Kenya, which has tremendous potential to unlock our investment resources and boost our economy. The people in Treasury, with the central bank and all the other stakeholders, including scholars like Lethome and others, should come together and fashion a framework that will provide accountability and stability, and a framework that will support this endeavor. Our manifesto highlighted the adverse effects of government borrowing on productive sectors, notably agriculture, leading to increased food imports and heightened vulnerability to global supply shocks. As we are all aware, we're spending close to $500 million, actually 500 million Kenya shillings every year to import food items that we can actually produce. And that is why I took the decisive decision that we are going to support production rather than us trying to subsidize consumption. And the difference has been made. We have significantly reduced imports of food. It is my intention that by supporting that productive sector, we can reduce imports, especially of products, food items that we can either grow locally or we can produce and manufacture locally. It will remove the strain on our dollar resources or foreign exchange resources, and it will also help us unlock the potential of our local productivity, local production, local manufacture. We have seen the mobilization of savings through various capital market instruments, including the initial public offer, treasury bonds, corporate bonds, and commercial paper issuance, and introduce innovative products like infrastructure port, green bonds, collective investment schemes, real estate investment trusts, commonly known as REITs, asset-backed securities, exchange trade funds, diaspora bonds, and derivatives. Moving forward, we will continue to enhance these efforts, working closely with NSC to drive our national transformation agenda. Our commitment extends to the privatization of government-owned enterprises as part of our broader economic liberalization program. This will not only stimulate market activity, but also support the government's strategy to divest its stakes in key corporations, enhancing overall market dynamics. As has been said here, and as I made a commitment when I first came to this exchange, the first 6 companies will be listed here in the next 3 months, I'm told. So before the close of this year, we will have the first 6 companies where we have stake as government listed here for divestiture, so that the public can own what government owns now. And I have heard with clarity how Kengen became successful, how Safaricom became successful by being listed at this exchange. We will be preparing those other companies that you want, and I know which ones that you want, so that we can bring them to this exchange and we can give Kenyans a chance to own part of the wealth of our nation. I'm also looking forward, as I have interacted this morning with different stakeholders, working with National Treasury, the Central Bank, and good companies like Safaricom, for us to develop retail trading of both shares in the stock exchange and also bonds. And I am looking forward, and I have been assured that maybe in the next 3 months, I will hold somebody to account on that. In the next 3 months, that we are going to see more Kenyans participating in bond trading, in shares trading, in forex trading, and this should be possible online. And the CEO of Safaricom has given me his assurance that he will use his robust network to make sure that Kenyans have access to a platform where they can do business. We can enhance our e-commerce footprint around Kenya, so that as we deliver the last mile connectivity to internet using our digital superhighway infrastructure, that we are now expanding to every ward in Kenya, so that we can not only give a chance to young people across Kenya to have access to digital jobs, but also to have access to digital commerce. And among the aspects of digital commerce that I am looking forward to is trading on government bonds, trading on shares at the exchange, and also forex trading, so that the many people who we have made internet and Wi-Fi, the many who have accessed it, either on our Wi-Fi hotspots across Kenya, or even as we deliver the last mile connectivity with the program we have between the Kenya Power and our Ministry of ICT, as we deliver internet, as we deliver Wi-Fi, as we make it much more accessible, then it can be made useful through access to digital jobs, which we are working round the clock to make sure that's available. And also we can do more e-commerce, more e-trading, more space to trade on government bonds, on government securities, on shares at the stock exchange or at the securities exchange, and many other of those aspects. I think it would be a very good experience. We are working round the clock to make sure that's available. Different from and also what is going on now. I think that platform is being used more kusalimiana. I mean, sometimes, you become the architect of your own troubles. When we delivered the Wi-Fi across Kenya and made it free, we intended it to be used for good purposes, for people to access e-commerce space, to work on that internet. But sometimes it is used to send us encouraging messages. To fulfill our manifesto pledges, we have initiated key economic reforms, including governance improvements under the ownership policy for government-owned enterprises approved by Cabinet in November last year. This policy is set to enhance corporate governance and accountability, aligning the standards of state corporations closely with those of listed companies. I'm very proud with the development that is going on, for example, at the Kenya Power, where today those in the private sector today have their own directors, and we are seeing improvements in the governance of state-owned enterprises that are listed at the exchange, a very positive move that is adding value to us. I'm very happy that in a long time, Kenya Power is actually going to have a significant profit this year. That's really commendable. And I want to thank the management of Kenya Power for what they are doing. And that speaks to all the other government entities that we will be listing at the exchange. I want to give you my commitment that we will be frugal and we will, with a lot of clarity, deal with the challenges of accountability, making sure that public resources are spent for the intention for which they have been planned for, and that those who come in the way of government resources, misappropriation, or loss shall be held to account. In fact, I did propose in my statement a few days ago that we are looking at changing the law so that it is possible to ensure that within 6 months, those charged with corruption must be brought to book and sent to jail if they are found guilty, as a means of making sure that public resources are used for the Kenyan public.
This stands as a cornerstone in our
profit. As we look forward to further integrating public agencies
for fueling programs and economic
through
transformation
privatization and welcoming
in
more private sector listing, we remain dedicated to our
Linzi
goals of
Trust
and economic development, crucial for realizing sustainable development,
lowering construction costs and making it possible and feasible.
I'm also glad
to offer homes
that a flexible
between
regulatory framework
30 and
is now in place to
40%
support small and medium enterprise raise funds through the capital markets.
I challenge the private
And that
sector
the NSC
to support national housing and infrastructure
now
projects.
has an
Then
SME capital
I am
raising
delighted
platform.
by
And
your
I really want to
response
encourage
and commend
to
your
take
effort in
advantage of this
crafting
platform and
this
find
landmark
resources,
asset-based security,
alternative
which has the
sources of
potential to
capital
enhance
for them to
efficiency in the
fund,
delivery of
their
our
horizon.
priority projects.
Investor confidence has been
optimal
sustained by the
financing
cost that
costs.
the financial markets have remained resilient.
I am also encouraged
with
that
stable
the funds raised
macroeconomic
from this
indicators.
bond will facilitate the
Maintain this
construction
trend,
of
Government of Kenya is committed to
3,069
entrenching
affordable
a
housing
predictable
units,
business
thereby
and economic
generating
environment through appropriate
thousands of jobs
policy
across the country,
I also
expanding
appreciate
commerce
the position
in
of the
many
securities markets, stable
of,
macroeconomic
trade,
indicators. To maintain this trend, the
aspects
Government of
of,
Kenya is committed
supply,
to entrenching a predictable business
traders,
and economic environment through
and many
appropriate
other
policy
aspects that
framework.
will bring this
I also
together.
appreciate
The
position
structure of
the
Linzi
securities
Sukuk
market
aimed at
with the
providing housing at an
recognition
average
of
of
NSC as
1.4
the
million
best
shillings,
performing
significantly
exchange
less than the current
in
average,
Africa,
enables
44.42%
Kenyans to own homes by paying as little as
in
$7,000
the past quarter
for 15 years.
this year.
This initiative not only makes
I remember
home
when I
ownership
made that statement
more
somewhere.
accessible, but
Many
also
people
represents a
wanted to
scalable
verify
model
whether it was
for
true.
investment in our affordable housing program,
Because
attracting long-term
sometimes
investors,
we have little faith in
including
ourselves.
local pension
And I want to
funds.
encourage us that
I'm very
if
happy
we
to listen
expect people
to
to believe in
Tom
our
Mulwa
country,
and
we
what
must
they are
first
doing
believe in
with
ourselves.
Dr. Kili
We cannot expect people
on
to
this
believe in
space.
us
And I'm very
if
happy
we
that
have no faith.
today
ourselves.
we are launching a product
And
that
the
brings
confidence that we
Islamic
are going to
financing
generate in the securities
put together
exchange,
by the Nairobi Stock
those
Exchange
coming from
to
outside Kenya
facilitate
will invest
public housing.
when they see us
That
the
is
front,
the essence
investing
of
in
public
our own
partnership.
companies. I'm
Public-private
very happy with
partnership.
what
We're using
CEO of
private
the
funds.
exchange said, that we have more
We're
foreign
using
investors
private funds
investing
to deliver
in
public housing.
our products.
It is
That is a sign of confidence.
the model
Yes.
that will
But that's
leverage
also an
more
encouragement
resources
to us
beyond
that
what government
others
can
believe
do.
in us. That we should believe in us.
Private money
I think
can
that's really the
facilitate
message we should
home ownership.
We should be kind.
Private money can facilitate public
I know
housing.
I have been accused
In
as,
this particular aspect,
the chair here said
our
of,
security forces will
traveling.
benefit from the housing
and,
that is
and
going
that's a fair
to
accusation.
be constructed using
The only
the
unfairness in
resources
this is that
we are raising
many people
using
believe
this
I've been traveling as a
Sukuk.
tourist.
And
But
it is my
the
commitment
profile we enjoy
to
today
the people of
in
Kenya
Kenya
that housing is
that
going
is
to
as a
be
result of
a major
deliberate
product. Many people have asked me,
positive
why are
profiling
you
of our
using
because
public land
in any case,
to
I am
deliver
the chief marketer of our
housing?
great country. And
I mean,
I will not
what else was
be doing
public land
justice to
supposed to
Kenya
be useful?
if I don't give
Because
it the stature
in many
profile
cases,
that
if
Kenya
we don't use
actually
public land
deserves.
to deliver
I am very proud
public housing,
that
it
today
ends up
our country
in the hands of a few
is
other
held
people
in very high esteem
by other means.
in many parts
So
both
I
our
am
continent
committed
and globally
to making sure that
because of the
we
efforts
create more
we have done
homeowners in
collectively
Kenya. As I have said
the
before,
people of Kenya.
we
and
have
we
a
must
mortgage industry
safeguard
of about
The
40,000.
place of our country,
We can expand
jealously,
that
all of us.
to between 1.5 and
And I
2
agree
million
with Letome
mortgages.
that whatever
By
it is
making
that we
sure
want to
that
do
we
as a
have
country,
housing
we are a
products
country
that are
that believes
affordable
in
to the
freedom.
majority of Kenyans.
we are a robust democracy.
You can only do that
but we are
if you
also
have
a country
innovative
governed under the
mechanisms
rule of law.
that allows us
It is good
to deliver
to be
housing
fearless,
and
It
housing
is good
products
to
at
be leaders,
affordable prices.
but it is
And
not
I'm very
good
happy that
to be
the
reckless
private sector is
and
coming on
violent.
board to work with us.
We just have
this
to
space.
be the country that we are all
As a
proud of.
financial instrument
A
compliant
proud
with Islamic
democratic
law, the
country
Sukuk highlights the importance of
governed by the
Islamic
rule of law.
finance in promoting financial
It is the
inclusion
minimum we can do
and broadening
for
market
ourselves
access.
as a
With
country.
this aligns with
And
the
I want to
global move
assure
towards more stable
investors
and
here
robust economic growth, and
And
looking
I want to
Islamic
assure
financial
Kenyans
assets currently.
that as a mandate, I will make sure, I will go out of my way to make sure that we are a stable country, to leverage on all our capabilities to secure the country and to provide an environment where each and every one of us can unlock our potential to make our country great. And we will make whatever sacrifices that are necessary for us to bring all our energies, all our efforts and ideas and synergy so that we can drive the collective good of the people of Kenya. Establishing a broad-based government is just that, so that nobody has an excuse, nobody has a reason to impede the progress of our nation, and we can harness all our capabilities, all our ideas, efforts and energy in driving the country in a positive trajectory so that we can take Kenya where we all want it to be. And I am very happy that as a country, we always emerge stronger and better, even as we face the challenges of nationhood. And together, I am very confident that we will move forward. I now declare the Linzi Sukuk officially listed on the unquoted security platform USP of NSC, and I'm informed that you are encouraged to attend the next Africa Security Exchange platform and conference. I am told by a friend of mine called Nafula, I think, who works around here, that I encourage each and every one of you to register and to participate so that we can bring experience together and learn from each other. Thank you very much. God bless you. And asanteni sana.
Ringing, but also allow me to welcome the following to just flank as he is ringing the bell. The Prime Cabinet Secretary, the PS Treasury, Yugas Mohammed, Chairman of CMA, Kiprono Kitonyi, Tom Mulwa, Jose Akili, Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome, Samantha Ngera, Abdallah Abdul Khalik, and Wycliffe Shamia. I'll request that the rest of us be seated, please. Let's take our seats. And the CEO will guide His Excellency on the bell ringing. At this point, let me also mention that you have a bell under your seat, which is courtesy of, or rather that it just frames what we've done. So, Your Excellency, once that has been explained, so at the count of 10, Your Excellency, you will ring the bell, and I'll request that we all count down from 10 together to help His Excellency. When we get to 0, then we shall ring the bell. So let's have the countdown, please. We'll start from 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, Your Excellency, the Linzi Sukuk begins trading, and we'll welcome you, Your Excellency, to just come and witness that it has actually begun trading. I'll request that the rest of us remain on stage for the first photo we're going to take, but the CEO and the Prime Cabinet Secretary can join His Excellency. All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We have two gifts that are to be presented, one by Kiprono Kitoni, the NSC gift, together with the Linzi gift. If we can do that quickly as we take a photo.
Because when we want to grow our democracy, one basic thing that really requires to be understood by the political class, by all of us, is institutions are critical.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. The weather with Spice.